I got the speaker up on the wall. I'm about to play gospel music, soft gospel music, right? Or when I want to play praise music and I'm warfaring against the sounds and the noise and I don't like it, I'm going to turn on the gospel music. But it's not about what Lindsay does. It's about what Jamie does, right? So Casey ain't going to do nothing. And Johnny's downstairs. He minds his business. So Johnny downstairs. Casey's not going to do nothing just because she don't do nothing. I understand that she wants to work it out. So what Lindsay does inside of her apartment to affect Jamie because she wants to be a part of Jamie and want to be a part of Jamie's life does not affect Jamie. Only what comes in the door. Most assuredly, I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door but climbs up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. What you must understand, that means sound, obtrusive noise. I mean, it's ridiculous. I said, I'm not going to beg for my life anymore. I have life and life more abundantly. Jesus say you have life and life more abundantly if Lindsay says you can have it. Absolutely, positively not. If I'm going to beg something, if he's going to choose me to have somebody to beg, it would be Pastor David or somebody at that caliber, not at Lindsay's caliber. She ain't even saved. He's not saying beg the enemy for your life and life more abundantly. Right? What he did say in James 4:7 was submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. I've been resisting. Right? So when I turned on my gospel music and they heard me praise God and get ready to do my blog, they knew it because I put on the thing. I said that the enemy, as a matter of fact, the best way for me to beat the enemy is to do a blog right now. I texted that to all three of them, including Lindsay, and then I started doing my blog, started praising and doing my blog, and then I heard nothing. I heard the screaming and the stomping, and I heard nothing. Pastor was like, Jamie, but you putting everything that you say about her in the chat box. I said, yes, I am. She's like, that's not helping. I was like, honestly, I thought it would help. I hoped it would help, but that's not my concern. I want to know when people are talking about me or they have problems with me. So I could change. But if she don't want to change, that just points out how demonic she is. Either way, I'm not going to say anything because I'm not going to let you make me a backbiter. Do you understand how that works? How somebody else's deeds can make you a liar, can make you a backbiter. Because Casey came back to me, she said, Jamie, I asked Lindsay about what you said, and she said, no. I said, first of all, you guys can talk about whatever you want and use me as your topic of discussion. I'm used to that. It's okay. I said, but I cannot speak for what Lindsay and you talked about. That's your conversation. I was not there. I said what I said, and what I said is the truth. And it's done, and it's so, and it's so. That person's spirit was entering. That's why I had a problem with the hole in the ceiling. Because that person's spirit was entering through the hole in the ceiling. And then through the drip that I started. Do you understand how crazy that is to open up somebody's ceiling and not be sorry at all? So that next weekend you drip through the ceiling again? And then not be sorry at all. So you stomping and doing everything. Do you understand how crazy that is? And he don't come with big attacks. He can't. He incompetent. So what he does is he sends his inept sentinels to come with little attacks, a whole bunch of little attacks. That's how he wears you down. That's why it says wear down the saints of the Most High God and not beat down the saints of the Most High God. He can't. David, a man after God's own heart. And we're studying David right now. And we were reading a portion that says of how Saul set David up. And I mean, this happened years ago. I'm a sensitive person. So I got mad. I was really upset that all the women in the Bible study older than me, and they sit there. I was like, yeah, Jamie, he was set up. And Miss Marlene, she leads the Bible study. She's a CBS teacher. And she's like, yeah, he set up. The lady, Miss Deborah, that does the teaching, the grand poobah teacher that there, she's like, yeah, he set up. And I was like, ugh. I was so angry. I got angry. David is going. He bone does. David like, Jamie, I don't care. Like, I'm going. I'm chilling. I was mad. I said, I can't believe he set him up. David suffered so much. I love the Psalms, but part of the problem is David he was writing in the Psalms. He would write about what happened, and then he would say, praise the Lord, though, at the end, which was beautiful. Praising God in spite of it. Beautiful. But at the end of the day, if you don't use your spiritual weapons and spiritual warfare to attack the situation, it will never stop. And you can't recognize the enemy. I don't recognize Lindsay. Peter, I know. Paul, I know. But who is she? I don't recognize Lindsay. I recognize Satan. And what happens with things like PTSD, that's why I said I had to be careful, because I was losing friends. Because they were being affected by my post-traumatic stress disorder. I was carrying around, like Saul, I was carrying around my bags. And then when they would try to talk to me about it, I would hide in the bags. So I'm carrying around my post-traumatic stress disorder. It's nothing but a baby-fied disease, right? That causes you, I have PTSD. Everybody saying, I have PTSD. So I carry this around, I carry this baggage around. Pity me. Pity cup, where are you? Pity cup, I need you. Pity cup. Victoria said, she said, I get so mad. She was like, because I deal with stuff and I'm looking at people that deal with less and they begging for help. And I was like, I do the same thing. You get mad when they beg for help and they get the help. And then they start prospering. And you not prospering, Jamie. You're not. Why? Because you're trying to do it yourself. Your help and your hope has always been in you, and that's the problem. I was looking at Victoria, I said, Victoria, you will be a lot more victorious if you just let God do something. We do that. My help and my hope is in God. It wasn't myself. I read it like this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I did a drive-by on the scripture. You do a drive-by on Philippians 4:13, it will tell you that you are the strengthened one. And you will forget about the Christ that you need to walk with you. All the sheep are inside the pen. Whether noise comes in to disrupt them, whether a PTSD comes in to disrupt them. I got PTSD. Everybody's claiming it. They won't name and claim the mountain moving, but they'll name and claim PTSD. It's a tactic of the enemy to make you think that you are inept and stupid. Your ID is on the stoop. Have you lost your mind? I can't do it. And so when you can't do it, then everything that comes out of you and gets past you, because you refuse to set up systems that do not affect other people, because you feel like you should not have to do it because you say, I can't do it, then everybody else is affected and hurt. So I end up in the emergency room because you say you can't do it. And I want to go off because there's some other things that I have to hold off on this week. Because you say you can't do it. I say you're not trying. Holy Spirit let me know. He said, Jim, you got to forgive. Forgive that. Because a text that you wrote this morning, that let me know you haven't forgiven, Jamie. Forgive that. You haven't forgiven. It's hard to forgive when you have not slept. You deal with the inept, so you have not slept. And I'm not dealing with her inept, I'm dealing with my inept. Why? EPT, because things are being born and conceived inside of me. Because I won't forgive her. What happens? I don't detect what's being put inside of me. I don't detect the seed that the enemy's putting inside of me because I don't have the spiritual EPT, right? I'm inept. My EPT that I would normally have spiritually, my Bible, my EPT, right? And not even my Bible, but my breastplate. I've taken it and put it inside of myself. So now I'm insecure. I put my security inside of me. I'm inept. I put my EP in me. My EPT in me, inside of me. So instead of me being able to use it, instead of me being able to stand with the body, right, I'm sick. So if I'm not careful, the enemy's wearing down the saints of the Most High God will cause him, and I've been very careful, I said, don't say I have anxiety, because I don't. Everybody, I've been telling everybody that, don't say that. But after he wears me down, he'll put my name in everybody else's mouth. I love the fact. I love the fact. That's I love. I love having a dad. I love the fact that I talked to him yesterday. He's so wise because I cut away half of what people would say about me by listening closely and being obedient. I didn't have to ask him, well, what do you think I should do? He told me, listen closely and be obedient. Listen with the ears of obedience. What are ears of obedience? The ears of love. God said, you know I know you love me when you obey me. So I let go of, I deny myself. I drop everything that I want, right? I think I should have for myself. And I listen to him with ears of obedience. Because I love him. Ears of obedience. I hear what he's saying and I do exactly what he's telling me to do. Even when he does not saying, do it. You know what God is saying to you? Everybody that loves God, they talk to him, right? If you talk to God, you have a code. What is that? The God code. I got a dad code and a God code, right? So I talk to God with the God code. So God will tell me what he wants me to do in his word. Most assuredly I say unto you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. Doesn't that refer me to 1 John 10:9-10? The thief cometh not but for to kill, steal, and destroy. Now here's the thing. Something was suggested to me by my dad. Even if things are better, I'm still gonna do what he said do. Because when I don't do things right, I enter by the wrong door. If I'm not obedient to what he's telling me to do, I can go ahead and do what it is that I would normally do, which is not bad because I normally do it right. I go ahead and do it normally, but it'd be wrong because I'd be entering by the wrong door. We want people in our lives. We want love. We want people to parents and people to be around us, marriage and all of that stuff. We want all these things, but we can't. We don't know the code. Downstairs, there's no key to get in downstairs. There's a code. They changed the code, and when she was supposed to send me the code, she did not. So they changed the code. So I let her go for a walk one day, came back, and I was sitting on the stoop in pain. Could not get in. I had to sit on the stoop because I had no code. But if somebody saw me, even though I live on the second floor here, if somebody saw me scaling the wall, climbing up the wall, and trying to come into this apartment, right, through other means, they would call the police, right? Because of the fact that they know this building has a code. So anybody that does not have the code does not belong here. If you live here, you have the code, right? But if you're climbing up the wall, that tells whoever's watching there's something that people won't do. You will not see a person scaling the wall here because the thing is, if they live here, they don't need to scale. If they live here, they have been given a code, and being given a code, right? Not she hadn't given me the code yet. Whatever, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, but I had not received the code yet, and they changed it the night before. If I don't have a code, that just tells whoever's looking at me that I don't live here. I will not be able to go across the street and ask the people that at the funeral home, right? Harmon Funeral Home, it's across the street and down the street a little bit. But I'm not be able to go across the street and down the street and ask them, do they have a code for this building? Why? Because they are not in authority. I have authority over apartment 2 because I have been given what? Access. What gives me access? What says I have been granted access? The key. Matthew 16:16-23. And I will give you keys to the kingdom, access to my throne room, that you will receive all the promises, everything I'll be giving to you, right? That you can use the authority, calling things as though they were. Once you get access, you get authority. So I have authority here, right? Because she gave me access. I have authority because my stuff is here, right? Because that day, 2 years ago, whatever, she gave me access. April, 2 years ago, she gave me access in that form of that little tiny piece of metal, right? The keys are little tiny, right, pieces of access, right, that you are given, right, that speak to the fact that you are in authoritative measure over things or sharing authoritative measure over things that actually probably do not belong to you completely. I'm giving the key over this apartment. You're giving the key over your house. Now, some people own house, some people own car. But I'm talking about people like me, right, that don't have that much money right here. I can still, with a little bit of good credit, I can still get a nice apartment. I can still get a nice car, right? I can still get that key. That key is that access, right? What they're saying is, I think that you're okay. You fill out the application, right? You have access to it. You have access to it first, and then once I see you walking properly in it, you will have authority. Most assuredly, you will have authority. People that have authority don't scale walls. People that have authority don't stomp, because you have to stomp on other people's head to infiltrate yourself into other people's places so that you can have attention and be seen. Your intention is to get attention and cause detention to everybody else. Cause a form of punitive punishment to everybody else because you are not being seen in your head. If I alert you, say the stomping is too much, then you immediately get your son or get whoever's together that's stomping and you stop it. That's what somebody that wants to be in a building, right, and have access and have authority does. But God told me that don't fight that noise naturally. I speak over that noise naturally to them to let them know what's going on and not come against it spiritually. He said, God said, Jamie, you're going, you stepping in and out of realms. Did you realize that noise is a natural manifestation of a spiritual ineptitude in them, in her? Don't fight that. For the weapons of my warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. It's strongholds. But I told you guys I can't handle the nasty noise and the sound. I told you guys that before. I told you, even on Johnson Street, I walked around with noise canceling headphones on. Because faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. And that demon wanted to cause me doubt. Messed up my security, felt like the walls and floor were moving, and then had me take my EPT and shove it inside of myself. It's an early pregnancy test. You give birth to a gift, and if you're not careful, your gift will come out looking like a GIF. Your gift, it's got T at the end, will come out looking like a GIF with no T, behind the cross. People will mess up your baby just by stressing you out. I said I can't do art, and I could not do art. I couldn't do anything. Couldn't write poetry, could not do art. I knew it was affecting my gifts, and that's when I knew it was satanic. And it was meant to be satanic in nature. Come on, I grew up I stayed with Lois, but I ran to my grandma's house. That was me, Linwood, Crystal, Samantha, and I would literally get pieces of notebook paper, go off in Crystal's room and just write poetry. When I wanted to just sit back with God, close the door to Crystal's room and just write poetry. And we lived on Stratford Place, which was the ghetto, which was inside an apartment building. You talking about one person on the second floor? We had 25 people on the second floor, shooting all the time. And I found such solace and such peace and serenity. This was an attack. Don't tell me. I know what attack looked like. This is whack. Crack is whack. I'm sorry, I had to do it. But this was an attack. You always have to look back and say, okay, when have I experienced? I grew up in the ghetto. The sirens here don't even sound like the sirens in New Jersey. The ambulance sirens and the fire people sirens. Everything is different. But even though there's noise, and noise making noise together, there's a flow. I was watching Boy Meets World, and Sean had this tape, and he grew up in a bad neighborhood, and his brother Jack grew up in a good neighborhood. Same father, different mothers. So the mother left, Jack's mother left, and they got she married somebody that had money. So he grew up in a nice neighborhood. Sean did not. Sean grew up, pig. He's such a pig. The room was always dirty. But he has this tape called Sounds of the Trailer Park. And when he hit play, I said, because you heard, woo, woo, shut up! What'd you do? Like, you heard it inside the sounds of the trailer park. It sounds of the ghetto. I grew up in the ghetto. The ghetto has a sound. But when you got God, God takes you through it and in and out of it. He weaves you through it. Because even though there's a sound to the ghetto, he will move you right through it. Because the sound of the ghetto will always flow. God is not absent from the ghetto. But if a sound causes chaos and confusion, it causes me to doubt. I couldn't produce gifts because my gift is based on faith. The paintings I do, the art that I do, it's based on faith. So that thing knew when it was doing it to me. And knows exactly what it's doing. So I said, okay, I'm going to speak to it. Because God said, when I speak to mountains, they are removed and cast to the sea. And nothing will be impossible for me. I may not be able to do it right now, but it's not impossible for me. I couldn't do it before, so I'm just prepping. I'm cutting up my balloons still, and I'm cutting up my soda cans. I'm prepping. I may not be able to conceive ideas, but I'm prepping. And when I really want to conceive an idea, don't get it twisted. I do. I'll make it happen. But I said I got to shift the sound of my apartment because there's no sound in here right now. None. Besides this vlog. Because they haven't been doing it and they left. I can hear them. That's ridiculous. But I still have to, but I know that the sound in this apartment is not right. 2 days ago, the sound in this apartment was perfect. And it had the most annoying sound going. I was listening to my We Grow over and over and over again. I say it's annoying because it was repetitive. I was listening over and over and over again. And it was stomping and everything going on. But in here, this is my spot, my prayer spot. Sophia and I, we talk about, I say, Sophia, make sure you get Sophia time, because she got an older brother and a little brother. So I remind her. But she has Sophia time, I got Jamie time, Jamie day, Sophia day. So I go to her randomly on a Sunday, and I'll be like, so what did you do for your Sophia day last week? And she'll be like, oh, I didn't do it. And she needs it. She really needs it. She's 10 and she needs it. They wonder why she act up. She needs it. She needs that. I have a thing. I've been taking pictures of kids for, 3, 4. I did a light touch. So I took pictures of kids. I took for about 5 years. So focused on kids. I worked at a portrait studio. And so lately I've just been snapping pictures of kids in my church. So I've been kind of trying to make art out of pictures. Because I want people to see what I see when I see their kids. The picture I took of Samuel, it's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. Because people don't know, because he's actually holding on to Play-Doh and gripping a fence. He's actually throwing a temper tantrum. And he's trying to get through the fence, and he wasn't supposed to, at Ashley House. So he's gripping Play-Doh and trying to get through this white fence. And I said, Samuel. And he just looked up at me and smiled. But he wasn't smiling for the camera, he was smiling at me. So he looked at the smile, and I was like, thank you. Even if it's in his temper tantrum. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning. All the kids are stunning. Do that. I train. Even when I'm there, right? I may just be Aunt Jamie, but I train them and remind them. And Sophia just put me there because they got Christina, and you got Ashley, and you got Jessie, right? She has all her aunts. She has a bunch of aunts. Amanda, she has a bunch of aunts. But then she sees me and I'm there, and you're Aunt Jamie now. So it's responsibility. I don't even know if the parents know. Jonathan and Sophia opened up a chat room. Me and the two of them in it. So don't bother them too much. Because I know the homeschool, I don't bother them too much because they're doing things. But I send them little notes. Tell them I love them. And I took the picture that I made for her. Because Sophia's love language is my love language. Words of affirmation. Sophia's fine. If you go to her, I said, Ashley, I told her, all you got to do is go to Sophia, look her in the face, and say, hey, Sophia. She's done. She'll start crying. She's done. Tell her I've done it. That's love for her. She's like me. I say, oh my Lord. I tell Pastor David to see me. He knows what that means. Don't forget to see me. You got 4 kids. I'm number 5. Don't forget to see me. Just see me, and let me know that you know that I exist. Because I know Lois doesn't know that I exist and doesn't care. I could be in the ground right now, she wouldn't care. I mean, it wouldn't be a blip on her radar. I haven't heard from a woman. See me. And Sophia knows that she's loved and seen when you get in her face and say, Sophia, 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 Sophia. I mean, bend down and get in her face and do it. Anybody can do it. Should you fill her love meter with that? And they stress and go crazy. They're like, okay, what do we got to do to get her to behave? Say her name. I'm telling you, it's simple. What does God have to do to remind you that He loves you? He told me, Jamie, don't go in, don't steal a sheep, don't go into other interests. He said, go knock. He said, even when you're invited, you still don't have a key. Go knock at the door. Use a door knocker. Go through the door with Jesus the door, right? Because if you come any other way, you are a robber. He woke me up with this, and I know exactly what he's talking about. And it really ripped at my heart. Because I realized there's two of them. And I can't enter in the wrong way with either one of them. God said if you come any other way, you are a thief and a robber. And we know 1 John 10:10 says what? The thief cometh not, but for to kill, steal, and destroy. So when you come another way, when you come out a door, use the door knocker, right? Even if they invite you over, if you do not go by the door, use the door knocker, come by the security system of Holy Spirit, they will immediately think that you're there to steal, kill, and destroy. Because the thief comes not but for to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus said, I have come that you might have life and life more abundantly. The only way to have life. I said, but I want this relationship to work. He said, the only way to breathe life into the situation, the only way to breathe life into your relationship is to go by the door, because Jesus is the door. And he said, I come to make that you may have life and life more abundantly. If you don't come by the door, that's Jesus Christ, then you have no life, and there will be no life in your situation. Why? Because the people that will always look at you as a point of insecurity. She came through the ceiling. She came through the window. She came through the back door. And I mean, coming through the ceiling and trying to get in and not being able to get in completely, and say, okay, I'm a drip in then. That not only is that, what is that? That's insecurity, causes insecurity, but it's also causing anxiety when you drip your way in. A picture of a drip is nothing but anxiety in the spiritual, in the house of faith. You're trying to drip your way in. Okay, the person told you, no, I don't want you. So you want to drip your way in? When the Lord said, no, I don't want you, I mean, she said that every day. Said 14, I left. Well, I mean, foster care took me out.